Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. This is Hunter here, and I'm here with Scott. Scott, how you doing, my friend?
Always fantastic when I'm podding, baby.
Oh, there you go, man. Oh, you charmer, you.
Mm, rare.
So, so we, so we're gonna keep this one kind of short. We just kind of want to give our quick thoughts on this. So, in case you guys, for some reason, missed the news, which I doubt you did, but the announcement was made last week that Zack Snyder, um, his his daughter, um, Autumn Snyder, had committed suicide back on March 20th, and I gotta say right now it's kind of crazy that I think this is a testament to Zack Snyder's inner circle that they were able to keep that quiet for 2 months because normally stuff like that leaks right after it happens, but uh, Warner Brothers have been working with Zack Snyder, saying like, "Look, dude, we can delay Justice League if we need to, because the film is pretty much done. I think what I've read is it's about 80% done, but they have to go through and do reshoots and stuff like that, which isn't unusual for a big studio movie like this. But what's crazy now is that Joss Whedon is stepping in the continued directing duties, um, and the reshoots are written by Joss Whedon, which is fucking crazy. That the guy who directed two Avengers movies and is a creator on Agents of Shield is stepping in to finish the DC Justice League movie. It's crazy when you really think about it. And
It, it
just go ahead.
it also says something too that it says here that Snyder had already hired Whedon to write some additional scenes before anything even happened. So he was already involved in this movie a little bit. It sounds like.
Yeah,
So that I think having known that too, um, gives you a little more optimism about the movie. I mean, you really hate to, you know, put kick a man when he's down, but we've said our fair share about Zack Snyder and
look,
his style.
look.
But
This is what I'm gonna say. Sorry to interrupt you, but I had a lot of people jump on me about this past week about, oh my god, you're so mean. Think about Zack Snyder. Like, we think about what he's going through. Look, Zack Snyder, man, I, what he's having to go through with his wife, Deborah, who's also a producer. Usually, if Zack Snyder is doing a movie, his wife's involved in some capacity. Usually as a producer or something. But um, the fact they're having to bury their 20-year-old daughter, that's fucking terrible. And I take no glee in that. So, yeah, absolutely
our
terrible.
critiques are not of people's like with who they are as a person. It's their
Or
directorial
son.
style or son. Like it's their style. It's the way that they make movies. It's what they present to us on the screen as an audience, and that's our critique of them. I mean, it's always horrible to hear about like tragedies like this one.
Yeah, exactly.
But having said that,
Zack Snyder's a fucking hack. I'm sorry. He's been a hack. And I know some people love his movies, or they. That's the thing. You either love Zack Snyder or you hate Zack Snyder. There's really not a middle ground. And to be totally honest, when he's directing Dawn of the Dead remakes or movies about owls, then yeah, he's really good. But when he's doing Watchmen and Batman v Superman or being a producer on Suicide Squad, god damn it, he
Sucker
sucks. I'm sorry. So, oh god, don't even get me started on Sucker Punch. He sucks. I'm sorry. And even when 300 came out and so many people were so gung ho about that, I didn't get that either. I still don't get it. So when I hear Joss Whedon is stepping in, yeah, it gives me a little bit more hope. But again, I think the biggest thing about this is that it goes back to what I've said since the beginning, is that I feel like they have rushed. Actually, I don't even feel. I know they have rushed like there's no tomorrow to get to this Justice League movie so they can try to get some of that Avengers money. Let's call it what it is. And I just don't think they've done enough legwork to justify a Justice League movie yet. I don't. So, yeah, Zack Snyder being out, cool. I mean, obviously not the way I'd want it to happen, but Joss Whedon, I mean, let's face it, Age of Ultron. I think it's a damn good movie. I actually like it a lot more than I think it gets a lot more hate than it deserves. But he said that he stepped away from Marvel because he was burned out. So it's a little hard to believe that Justice League is going to be the thing to get him all back in the game. So I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, kind of your thoughts, Scott. Like,
Yeah, I feel like I mean you definitely you nailed it there. Just talking about the development is the grand scheme of DC is not quite as refined, and they're still trying to catch up. And it's felt like that for a while now that they're really trying to catch up. And we talk about this all the time, just about each superhero's development and the way that Marvel's able to develop each individual superhero, so you really get to know them and give a shit about them. I will say though, I am sort of excited for this movie. Number one, knowing that Joss Whedon had already been involved in some of the additional scenes while Zack Snyder was still working on it, but him taking over with it gets me excited for sure. I don't know. I like Ben Affleck as Batman. I'm interested to see about the Flash. I know this isn't. We're not really talking about the movie, but I think it gives me more hope. I think if Zack Snyder would have finished this out, I probably wouldn't have had very high expectations going into it. But they definitely arise after seeing this news, for sure.
yeah, and what I'll kind of say in closing is that one thing Joss Whedon has proved to be able to do is handle. Um, he's he's fucking brilliant when it comes to handling ensembles. I mean, he did it on Buffy, he did it on Firefly, he did it with Avengers. He's proven he can take multiple characters and make them all feel important. So that's what they need here because I mean they have a couple established characters, you know, Batman, Wonder Woman, might be someone else that might show back up. Which if you don't know, then you're dumb. But you know, we're meeting Aquaman, we're meeting the Flash, we're meeting Cyborg for the first time. So he's got to flesh those characters out and then give us a reason that they have to team up. It's a lot of moving
Hmm.
pieces, and so so while I am nervous, I will say if there's anyone who's up for the job, I think this shows that DC is starting to kind of finally wise up and realize they need to kind of get away from Zack Snyder. Um, you get Joss Whedon, so I think that was a really good call. This still is coming out in November. They have not changed the release date, which to be totally
That
honest
is
with you guys,
crazy.
I was fucking shocked by. To be totally honest, I believe it's November. I think it's November 10th. This comes out.
I think that
Um,
also goes to show Joss Whedon's involvement prior to this. I feel like
oh, 17th. Sorry.
it was probably really seamless for him to take over if he was already involved a little bit, like, and just like how much he was involved. I think is a testament to it still being released.
Yeah. So it's gonna be November 17th. This comes out, by the way. But I just I don't know, man. It'll be interesting to see.
It feels like another big movie that have high expectations with a lot of important characters, and it seems like a really tall task. Like it doesn't matter who's doing it, like if Marvel is doing or any other company or universe this is in, it's a big task, especially how pivotal a lot of these characters are and how important they are and like and just in pop culture and generally where people are, can recognize most of them. Um, it's a big job and we'll see if they can pull it out. I mean, it's going to be hard with the tag team director deal here. It might cause some problems with continuity, but um, we'll see. It's definitely a wait and see.
Yeah, I think the next trailer is going to be very telling, is what I'm going to say. Because I feel like that's going to have a mix of the Snyder stuff and the Whedon stuff. It's going to be interesting to see if those things mesh really well together, or if they're like almost contrasting. So I'm curious. I'm really curious to see what this is going to be. So November 17th. I mean, I would think we'd maybe get a new trailer maybe July-ish, maybe, or maybe even June to go with the new stupid Mummy movie. I don't know, but we'll see. But I'm curious to see what DC's gonna do with this. And like I said, we want DC to prove us wrong.
Please
You
do.
think we like sitting? Yeah, you think we like sitting through
You
these
know,
hour long movies and being
I'm
irrational?
excited about Aquaman. Like, I want to see Aquaman introduced. Like, I want to see
Yeah,
the Flash introduced. Like, I'm genuinely interested in that stuff. Like, I want it to succeed.
yeah, and Wonder Woman I think is gonna be really good. And early reviews are saying it's pretty damn good, which gives me hope. A lot of people are saying it's the best DC movie they've put out, which admittedly it's a backhanded compliment, but you know what? Hey, I'll take it at this point. Um, so guys, let us know what you think here about this development, because I know some people are not big Joss Whedon's fans, and that's fine. You're wrong, but that's fine. But let us know what you think about this whole new development. I would like to get people's thoughts. Follow us here on SoundCloud, the Real Pineapple 775. Follow us now on Podbean. Download us off there at the Real Pineapple on Podbean. You can follow us on Twitter, or yours truly, on the Twitter at JHunterRealPineapple. Follow Scott on Twitter
Newman the
at,
First.
and you can follow Colin on Twitter at The Real O'Neill, and like us on Facebook. Guys, thank you so much for listening. We'll have reviews up this weekend for Captain Underpants. Woo! And
Yay.
then I know you're so excited, right? And then the aforementioned Wonder Woman. I'm Come on, be good, be good. Guys, thank you so much. We will talk to you
Peace.
soon.